Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, we are continuing the journey of the Batman. This is the Batman Season 2, Episode 2, Riddled. That pretty much tells me who's going to be in the episode unless it's a complete misdirect, which it could possibly be, but I just don't think so. I think Riddler's showing up. That's what I think based off that title, Riddled, but I like the title, Riddled, but it pretty much tells me who's in the episode. But regardless, it's fine. It is what it is, because we've seen a huge variety of villains so far, so it makes sense that Riddler eventually shows up, so I'm curious to see how they handle the character. So, the beginning of Season 2, I liked how in that episode, number 1, Catwoman and Penguin, teamed up, essentially, but it was, backstabbing each other. It was really showing Catwoman in terms of her pretending to be, really like Penguin or whatever, but then behind his back, very clearly to us, the audience, that, she was going to betray him and everything. Turns out Penguin was doing the same thing. We just didn't see from his perspective that he was playing her as well. A lot of double crossing, and ultimately at the end, they had to leave together on his umbrella that can turn into basically anything that he needs it to turn into. Used it as a rocket for them to fly off because they were handcuffed together. And we had that whole plot with those two little statues or whatever, the bird and the bird and the cat or whatever. What they're able to do was kind of over the top, but then again, the show's over the top or whatever at times, so it is what it is. And at the end there, something I haven't thought about that the show really hasn't covered specifically, and it makes sense because Batman at the beginning of the show, Season 1, the very, very beginning, was considered a myth in Gotham. People were wondering, does it even actually exist? And now the police force are aware of him, and that for the longest time, of course, he was considered a menace just like the villains, and now he's secretly working with Yin now. At the beginning of Season 2, we really got to see a little bit of that in terms of them communicating with the Batwave. But then we see him on that lighthouse, and then the light is shining over him, and we see the silhouette of a bat, which is him, of course, sitting there. So it's kind of planting the seed of the bat signal, which I haven't really thought about, so that's interesting. So, I'm enjoying the show so far. Can't wait to get into it and see what they do with this episode, guys. Let's see what they do with the Riddler. I'm assuming the Riddler. Watch would be wrong, but it's probably not. Anyways, let's go. The stress ball? Hey.
We can't have much time left.
Well,
I couldn't read that whole thing.
Wiring's the real deal.
you know we can't let them see us together.
Exactly. It's secret.
If they do.
Oh boy, Riddle. Yeah, it's Riddle, right?
No one needs to see us run out of here together, and I get
Yeah.
to keep my badge.
That was good.
Bravo!
Uh-oh.
I was expecting my worthy opponent to be
Who?
taller.
Oh, I thought you were referencing Batman.
Introduce yourself.
Where's the boom?
There's no boom. Oh, Jesus.
Hello, Gotham PD. A battle of wits. A duel of
A bat. Okay, so he's assuming she's the one who figured out the riddle.
to solve.
Why are you doing this?
Just to have fun, maybe.
I'm the
Oh.
one posing the riddles here.
I hate riddles. And
I don't blame
play
you,
games with Matt.
because I have no idea. I wouldn't be able to figure it out.
Gotham Bridge. 2-year-old could have figured that one out.
Oh. I wouldn't.
Riddler may have hacked the police frequency, but he
Yeah.
can't crack Batwave.
Two
You
heads
sure?
out, better
Don't
than-
say that no one can crack the back wave.
Ah, you made it, detective.
Yeah.
Pity about your hard drive.
Where's the riddle?
The screen. The riddle's a puzzle. Try
The
this
riddle's a
first one.
puzzle. Okay.
James Smith.
What kind of place is he in? What the hell?
I said no help, Chief.
Get out of there. Oh, shit. Oh, smart. But say, how is he able to see in there? My God, this is intense. Oh my God.
I got it!
Holy shit. Okay. Gotcha. My God. So, she solved by herself 2 riddles, essentially, and you're gonna kill her? Luckily the camera wasn't working when he's standing there.
What a surprise. Ready for your next riddle?
But you just tried to kill her. Why?
What do you want?
What's
you
the
maniac?
point? He loves using those type of bombs. He really does.
The key to this puzzle you will find at last from Riddle's past.
From Riddle's past. Everything in me.
I love how they're all struggling except for Yin and Batman, basically.
Chief,
You better hope I don't solve it, Riddler, because I'm going to find you and I'm going to bring you down.
I bet you will.
Further from the truth, a man builds a house with all 4 sides facing north.
Okay.
A bear walks past the house. What color is the bear? Knowledge is power.
He's thinking back on everything.
Pity about your hard drive.
The house is at the South Pole, so it's a polar bear. The answer is white.
Careful. Wait, what?
this riddle has no answer.
Riddler cheated?
Riddler quit.
He quit? Oh. Oh, shit. Okay.
Almost done.
Knowledge is power, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Fitting heist for a brainiac.
Probably
Don't you
surprised.
think, Yinzy? Information! It's all here.
Information.
In the city's mainframe.
We can trade IQ scores when you're behind bars.
I mean, that's a good
Would
answer.
that be your IQ
Oh.
or the Batman?
Oh, shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Gotham's infamous vigilante. Working hand in hand.
Yes,
with
hand in hand. Mm-hmm.
Scandalous.
What the hell? Okay, blinding light and now some sort of gas.
Tell me, what question can you never answer yes to?
I don't know. Oh, we're finally in his base of operations.
Join the party.
Oh, no. Dude.
Too easy. Instead,
Good tease.
we'll play
Good tease.
Oh, you're gonna love
A lie detector? Okay. Okay, there's a lie detector.
Answer falsely, Batman, and Yinzy here. Blonde. Yes or no? Yes.
Shouldn't have answered yes. Ugh.
Were you born here in Gotham City?
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's where his location is?
You do have a day job. I'm beginning
I mean,
to get a sense
yeah.
of-
Ask me.
You don't know.
I do know.
What?
No.
Batman is Ethan Bennett.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's a
Riddler.
good trick.
Answered.
Oh, working together.
No one outsmarts the Riddler.
I mean, they pretty much did there. Cat and mouse game. Oh!
Since I
What are you gonna
can't have
do?
Riddler, who's next?
Ooh. Okay, I'm surprised he got hit with that. Exactly.
What's black and blue and green all over?
Uh-oh. You?
Someone on your payroll works hand in hand with the Batman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah?
My name, Yin. Riddler says it's me.
The Batman wasn't anywhere in sight tonight.
He actually was. He's right there in the reflection. I feel like a broken record at this point, but I'll just keep saying it. Another great episode of The Batman. Holy crap, guys. A lot of things we have to talk about. First things first, let's talk about the Riddler's design. And in case you're hearing any noise, it is raining like crazy right now. So apologies if you do hear that. I hear it. And it's distracting, but I'll try to stay on course here. So Riddler's design, first things first, and we'll get to the actual whole thing of the episode. Because I really felt like the plot of the episode and how they progressed it was really cool. I like the overall design of Riddler. I did. It in a sense kind of felt classical with the question marks and everything, and he has the cane or whatever. Like in some instances we've seen Riddler like, you know, with a cane and stuff, and sometimes not, and then he has, you know, question marks or whatever. The long hair and the little black slit over his eyes or whatever to kind of mask a little bit. Interesting choice, but then again, this show has shown in the past, and even now, of course, getting into season 2, like, even though we've already seen Catwoman and Penguin before, like, just the design of how they approach their characters is a little bit different and unique in certain instances, so I felt like the Riddler design, okay, I was down for it, whatever, you know, because this show has proven to be unique in a sense with its designs for some of the characters, so I wasn't too surprised that it was a little bit different in certain areas in terms of his overall design. So the actual plot of the episode, I like the fact that Riddler was kind of playing Yin a little bit. He kind of already knew at the beginning that Yin didn't actually solve the first puzzle, which was like right away. Like they didn't waste any time. Right away, Riddler had like, I think it was like a bank or some sort of building that had like all these canisters of green, like toxic waste or some sort of explosive devices all attached to like this timer. And Batman, of course, showed up. Yin got the other guy out, and Batman figured out. And I liked how the first riddle was Riddle. Like the answer was Riddle. And then throughout the night, Yin had to travel around to different locations, and Batman is kind of hiding in the background and kind of helping her answer questions. That first one was pretty crazy. I'm like, because I was trying to read it, I'm like, what? And it was going by too fast, but that was the whole point. They don't want you to kind of read it right away. And they would, of course, like have it actually spoken in terms of the actual riddle. So it's like trying to think things through. Of course, a lot of them I could not guess at all. So it was just really interesting to see the kind of riddles they were using, but riddle was the first answer. And I like how in the second riddle, after Yin has to start pretending to not be in contact with anybody else. Of course, she has the earpiece for the Batwave to talk to Batman. She goes to the van that's just parked on the bridge. Okay, it's just parked there. I don't know how long it's been parked there, but it starts driving on its own at a certain point. But she has to answer not another riddle, but a puzzle where she has to basically the box that has all individual squares with inside the bigger box. She has to highlight all of it and hit certain points to highlight it and all that. And then Riddler starts like automatically driving the van and then veers it off the bridge or whatever. Like after Yen, even though we don't know at this point, but he already knows that Batman's helping her, just tries to kill her after she's already answered 2 riddles. And the implication is like, oh, this person's actually playing your little game, Riddler. Why are you trying to kill her? But then I guess he's trying to prove a point. I think he already kind of figured Batman was involved because he kind of figured that Batman was going to be involved. So he kind of tested it to see, is Batman really helping her? Let's drive the van off the bridge and let's see what happens. And of course, Batman saved her. So throughout the rest of the episode, getting up to the point where they're actually in the museum, they're all riddles and they're actual, and he keeps using those same like green vials, those giant canisters or whatever, as like his weapon of choice, if you will. And I like how they were, like I said, we had that actual riddle that he had to type in riddle. We had the little game to fill the box in with all like hitting all the right areas in the box, and then one where was a piano note to hit. Interesting. But we're getting to the museum. There's 4 walls facing north or something, some sort of thing, and then there's a bear. What color's the bear? And then I like how they had the visual, because they've done this before in the show. But the visual here was a little bit different, because before in the show, we'd have like flashbacks or like the screen to kind of go dark, and then you'd see like little highlights of certain things characters would say, and Bruce would start piecing stuff together. In this episode, we're seeing like on either side, Riddler popping up saying something, then saying something, then saying something, then saying something, and he realizes this is not a riddle. Like, this cannot be solved. And then realizing it's some sort of jelly or gelatin or something that comes out of the devices, because he realizes this is not an actual riddle, and we've been basically pushed away from the actual point of his plan. So I like that reveal there too, is that number one, we already got the reveal that once they go to the actual location where Riddler is and downloading all that data from City Hall, is the fact that he knew that Batman was, helping him, or Batman was helping Yen, helping him. Batman was helping Yen with these riddles and stuff. But also the fact is that he was just leading them on a wild goose chase all around to get them to kind of steer away from his actual plan. And he had people working for him, which is kind of interesting. And then seeing his actual base of operations, where it was located in the off basically the harbor or whatever of Gotham, like within one of those drains or whatever. Kind of interesting to see that. And seeing Riddler kind of fight a little, but not really, but using his cane, it started reminding me a little bit of Penguin's umbrella, where he was able to, some sort of bright light or something came from the question mark at the top of the cane. Then it's like a little bit of like black or some sort of spray or whatever. That was interesting to kind of see, okay, so this thing is multi-purpose as well, as well as Penguin's. I think Penguin's umbrella is just so over the top in terms of how much stuff it can do. But I was like, oh god, don't turn Riddler's cane into that too. But they didn't really, but he was able to do some stuff with it. But we get to probably the biggest thing, and I knew they weren't going to go too far to reveal Bruce's identity. I don't know, they could have, but they're both strapped into these devices on either side, and he's going to play 20 questions against Batman to see who he really is, because he could easily pull up the mask, and he was almost halfway pulling it up. You could see his nose, Bruce's nose. I believe you could see it, but he's like, not too easy. He puts it back down, pulls the cowl back down, and then he starts asking questions. Do you have blonde hair? Yes. and electrocutes Yen. But then they start figuring out a little plan to ask questions, and we're continuing on. And Yen throws out something that I'm like, oh my god. What are you doing, Yen? But it makes sense because they're trying to throw him off track, Riddler. She says, Batman is Ethan Bennett. It's not, but that was really like, what are you doing? And then the thing was, you asked if I was a police officer. The answer is yes. And it's a lie, because they have a lie detector connected to his answers. And then Yen kicks him, and Riddler jumps, and he doesn't jump, he lands in front of the electricity that shocks him. And that's the turning point of the episode. I realized how they work together, and that nothing was spoken. They just figured it out how to manipulate Riddler's own game against him. That was pretty smart. I also like too where Riddler was like throwing out a little bit of a riddle to Rojas, who showed up in the episode. He had a stress ball. He's like, he's had a lot of stuff going on. It's been very stressful, a little bit of time for him. So I understand he's, and I love how he's like really like thinking like, God, these riddles, like he can't figure them out. And it was really funny to kind of see him struggling with the riddles, as everyone was struggling except for Yin and Batman. But it's just funny to see that. But for Riddler to say, oh, by the way, somebody's in your police force is working with the Batman. And then she admits the answer and says, why Yin? You know, he's referring to me, Yin. He's saying, I'm working with the Batman, and Rojas like, get that guy out of here. And Riddler's like, what? Like, the shock on his face, because he wasn't expecting the response from him to be that, because he really thought that he was going to hurt Yin. No, because he couldn't believe it, because Yin has been so against the Batman, and has had made a point to, during season 1 with Bennett, even though Bennett didn't want to do it, to go after the Batman. She was one heavily wanting to go after the Batman to actually stop him, because she didn't believe in him for a long time. So I like the fact that he just dismissed it, because like Riddler's like, get that guy out here, Riddler's crazy. So that was really cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. It was good stuff, and yeah, I had a good time with this episode. I really thought they did a pretty good job with the reveals and the turning point for Riddler and realizing his games and everything, and how they turned his games against him. So that was pretty cool. So what you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.